Yeah, I think we need to see another color uniform and to see kind of where we're at. But like I said, we start practicing in September like every other team in the country, and it's mid-February, so it's time to lace them up and get after it. There's some names that haven't played a lot in their careers that I think you'll see play a lot. Kyle Johnson, everybody knows who Kyle is, but hasn't won that everyday job until this year. But we're really looking for big things out of him. Tommy Richards, another guy everybody knows the name, but it's kind of been their time to play. So I see some big things out of those two. Got some good young players. That's to be determined. I could see, with Ponciano being out for a week, I could see Slaybaugh being out there more than you would probably typically see him. With Ponciano being out there. So Jason Monda play a little bit in the outfield, and you'll see quite a few young kids out of the bullpen, especially right-handed. Both the Williams boy, Taylor Williams and Brandon Williams, you can see those guys get some time. J.D. Leckenby. So there's quite a few new faces. I'm not sure what roles they're going to play yet, but they'll at least be out there. I think you start with the rotation. With last year at the end of the year, the rotation was for a team that lost the regional final. We used Arnold, Conley, and Wise, and we have 2/3 of those guys back, and within about a month we'll have them all back. So if you're coming back with your rotation, you feel good about that. We have some experienced guys. In the outfield, you got Derek Jones, this will be his third year as a starter. Matt Ardropoulos at third base, a 3-year starter. Cody Bartlett, Jay Ponciano. So we've got some guys that have been around a little bit. I like our flexibility. I don't think we're just 9 deep. I think we can play 13, 14 guys. And the pitching right now, I like the rotation, but I'm not sure about the bullpen yet because those roles haven't been determined. But we're not going to be able to get those determined until you start playing. It won't change a thing how we manage the game.
Okay.
But because we're not a team. If you look at our numbers, we're not leading the country in home runs every year.
Right.
Some teams play like that. Some teams recruit like that. We don't recruit like that. I could see guys probably doing some smaller things because it's a fact of life. The balls aren't traveling as far. It's not a big deal to us. We don't talk about it. There's just, the only difference that we swing this year, we swing Nike bats. So, some days they're crimson and some days they're white. It's a blessing.
Really?
It's a blessing for our team, not for Chad, because nobody wants to be out there as much as Chad does. But, these young kids, if the rotation was completely healthy with Conley and Arnold and Wise, I don't see a lot of innings for those young kids. And I don't see Chad saying, hey, take me out in the 5th or 6th so I can get so-and-so some innings. Those guys are Bulldogs. They want to complete games. So this is going to give our kids an opportunity that they probably wouldn't have received. So I look at, even though it's a misfortune for Chad early in the season, it's great for the rest of the club. And we told Chad we kind of treat him like Roger Clemens. We'll fly him in when he's healthy. So like I said, maybe come June, if we're still playing, this will be a blessing for us. Yeah, he's been great. He's, if Chad was healthy and pitching all the time, it would be a dogfight for that Friday night spot. Chad hasn't. I don't think you lose something by injury. I think that Adam's the guy right now, and if he wants to keep that spot, then he's got to pitch really well. Because I know when Chad gets back, I know what his expectations are. So, and don't forget about James Wise. He's pitching on Sundays, but if you ask him, he should be pitching on Fridays. Yeah, potentially. I think the first guy you have to look at is Shuey. Paris, I don't know exactly if he set the record, but I know he was pretty close for appearances last year. I think he had 29 or 30 appearances last year, which is, I think, is 1 or 2 on the all-time single season list. So you feel comfortable giving him the ball. He hasn't just typically been given the ball late in the games, but he has finished games. So we like him. He's not typical because he's also that 2 or 3 inning type guy. He's going to get you 8 or 9 outs. I'm real high on J.D. Leckenby. He's a freshman out of Buell, Idaho, but he is a freshman. Very good athlete, football, basketball, baseball guy, and I think he's the type of guy that could be the closer of the future, but I don't think he's the closer of the now. Well, I think we have the ability to do the little things. I think that we're a team that they can bunt, we can hit behind runners, we can and actually drive the ball. I know people are talking a little bit about the bats being dead, but I think at times and certain places you're playing, I think the Ardropouloses and the Jones and the Ards of the world, we can leave the house too and hit some home runs. So. And we run better. I mean, Brett Jacobs has gotten faster. He's running better. Kyle Johnson, I think, is going to win an everyday job, and we've been trying to get him in the lineup every day. And he's finally won that job, and he can run like nobody we've had here in my time at Washington State. And And Colin Slaybaugh's a young kid that runs really well. Cody does fine. Tommy. We just have some guys that can pick them up and put them down a little bit, and that's what we want to do. And we really haven't been that type of team. So I'm excited about the versatility, and I'm excited for the overall team speed. We're not really sluggish out there.
Donnie, I didn't know what is wrong with Jay Pontiano.
He had a collision on Sunday, so he's got a little oblique strain. They thought maybe a kidney bruise, but that's come back okay. So he just kind of got an oblique strain and some cartilage in the rib that's acting up. So he will not travel this weekend. It just happened on Sunday night.
Just a collision at the plate?
No, collision at third actually with the other catcher because he was base running. So maybe that was planned. Who knows?
I see. How's everybody else's health besides Chad?
Okay, Clausen's dealing with the lower back. He's getting better. Ard's dealing with a hamstring, and he's getting better. Tam Singh's dealing with an elbow, and it's getting better. So, we got some injuries, but they're all kind of on the mend. So I'm not really overly concerned. I'd like to have my fifth-year catcher with me on this trip, and I'd like to have Arnold with me. But like I said, with those guys not there, some young guys are going to get an opportunity that they probably wouldn't have.
Well, do you expect Slaybaugh to start all three, or?
No, I got Slaybaugh and Klingon are both doing a good job. They're completely different players, So, but I think between the two of those guys will obviously get the bulk of the work, and we're not exactly sure how. There's always some comfort on pitchers like to throw to certain guys and have comfort. So, we'll see about that as it goes.
Do you expect everybody besides Jay and Chad to play some this weekend?
If the game dictates, I feel good about, we don't take eaters on the road with us. We take guys to play. So, I'm hoping to play them all. We got to take 27, and, we try to win as a team and lose as a team. So I like to play 27 guys. It doesn't always work out that way.
What's your rotation going to be?
It'll be Conley, Jackson, and Wise.
Know much of anything about Cal State Bakersfield at this point?
No, we have some information from last year's team, and that's pretty much all you can really go on is on last year's scouting report. Like I said, the first weekend's always the tough weekend. You want to think about their older guys because traditionally you're not as concerned about freshmen coming in. You're more concerned about the returning type guys. But it's a very, very small report, and it's just I think it's baseball. It's Bakersfield versus WSU, and I don't think the scouting reports has much to do about it.
Yeah. Do you have a set plan for a batting order on Friday yet?
I did, and then Sunday that changed. So I'm starting to get a little smarter and older. We're going to set that thing on. I was going to set it on Thursday night, but guys tend to get hurt Friday before the game, so we'll just set it Friday.
Okay. What do you know? Are you settled on the Brett at leadoff right now?
Yeah, I think we're pretty settled on that. I think Kyle Johnson's trying to put a little thorn in that plan, though. So, Kyle Johnson, he sees himself as a leadoff type hitter. We've seen him that way, and I know he wants to move up to that spot. We'd like to. I think right now we're a little bit more comfortable with Jacobs hitting one, but I think Jacobs is more of a two-type hitter. But, if you had to hold a gun to my head and ask me today, Jacobs would be hitting leadoff.
You kind of give us maybe the top two or guys or whoever's in the mix in the infield position?
Yeah, we kind of play two guys at each spot. Up the middle, we have Bartlett's playing a lot of shortstop, probably 90% of the time he's playing short. And we got Tam Singh. Trace is a freshman out of Newport High School, got drafted by the Red Sox, and he's been dinged up in the fall and he's been dinged up in the spring. He hasn't thrown a lot, so definitely like him to be the shortstop of the future. I just got to get him healthy. Over at second base, Tommy Richards and J.K. Dykes. But J.K. also plays shortstop too as well. So those are our four middle guys that we play consistently. Over at first has been a real dogfight. Taylor Ard and Adam Nabolowitz. Taylor's a redshirt sophomore. He transferred in from Mount Hood. And Adam redshirted for us last year after that shoulder surgery. So those guys give us good options. And then over at third base, we have two guys playing really, really good. Matt Ardropoulos is playing great baseball. I think he's played his best baseball since he's been in Pullman. And then we have a young switch-hitting freshman named Stetson Olson that's just really, really swinging the bat at a high, high level. So kind of we feel comfortable with two guys at every spot, to be honest with you. And we have some utility guys. Clausen can come in and play second and third. Monda could come in and play first. So, it gives us definitely some flexibility at all spots, to be honest with you.
And what is Arnold's injury?
He had a little bone chip in his elbow in November, so he's healing, and he's been throwing now. He's been cleared to throw, so we're hoping to have him back in some capacity off the mound in early March.
Well, I mean, it's 2 straight trips to the tournament, and last year you nearly made it out. Does it kind of feel like, now's the time to make the next step in that progression?
Yeah, it felt like it last year, to be honest with you. We just want to keep building and keep evolving as a program, and I think it's been great for our players, for our fans, for our administration, for our coaches. It's just to be able to continue to develop as a program and put our players in those types of environments. And I think we have a clear idea of where we want to go. I think we have a clear idea how to get there, but ultimately you still have to do it. So, like I said, I hope those things can happen, but the only way it's going to happen is if we continue to do the things we've been doing, just, playing each pitch and living day by day and not looking ahead. We just got to continue to do a good job at today's practice so that we're prepared for tomorrow's practice, and which will hopefully turn us to prepare for Friday. We can't worry about super regionals. We can't worry about Omaha trips. Those are all that everybody wants. You want them, I want them, the players want them, the fans want them, but it's not something we can't control it. We can't think about it. We got to just think about the next 200 feet in front of our faces.
Sitting here in the middle of February, how does this team compare to the last few Februaries? Does this one feel more talented?
Maybe similar than last year's. I think we're pretty experienced. That's the thing, is that when you're going to play and you've penciled those same guys in the lineup the last couple of years, at least you know that, hey, I got some guys that at least know how we want to do things. But we got some key young players that they're going to have to pitch. You win ball games late. You don't win them early. You got to win games late. And we got a lot of freshmen in that bullpen, so that's something that's concerning. But I do feel good about our team. If you look at us, we're strong, we're athletic, we're in very, very good shape. I will tell you this, that this club's in better shape than any team I've ever coached. So I think we at least we'd be pretty good in a calendar, I guess, if you took our picture. But it doesn't mean you can win ball games. But I do overall feel pretty good about this team.
Does that did you make any changes to the conditioning program or anything, or just these guys? Are they just that way?
Corey Metzger, our strength conditioning coach, she does a great job. It's our players. We have a couple older guys that are really, really health conscientious. Matt Ardropoulos, he's got a great, great body. He's physically really, really gifted, and I think it's senior leadership. Some guys are, if you got the older guys that don't want to do things the right way and they want to, not do things you want them to do, that's what the younger kids are going to do. I think the older kids are setting the precedence how we do some things around here, and you see that you have great success. I mean, we have a couple guys. Adam Conley, he's relentless. He's as hard a worker as you're ever going to find, and those young kids realize, hey, this guy's one of our best guys. He's working his tail off. He's got a chance to make $1 million. If I do those same things, maybe the same things can happen for us. So it's got nothing to do with the coaches. It's all about the players.